Hello again, and welcome to part 2 of using Mendeley at RIT. Once again, this is Roman Kashikar, Computing and Information Sciences librarian. When we left off at the end of part 1, I mentioned that in part 2, I would commence by discussing how to navigate Mendeley on the web. And that's where I will pick up. We'll talk about navigating Mendeley on the web and using Mendeley to create private groups. Going over to Mendeley's website at mendeley.com, I can sign in with my email address and my Mendeley password. And I covered creating that account in part 1 of this series. When I log into Mendeley's website, it first takes me to a search box, but at the upper right corner, one of the options I have is to access my Mendeley library. And now we are actually into the interface that is going to be used more often going forward, Mendeley's reference manager interface. Notice that everything does sync here with my desktop library. So all my references are still present. And one small difference is that instead of folders, Mendeley calls your organizational buckets collections here on their website. Another new feature that can be accessed through the website is the use of a notebook. So you can add information on various references and annotations to various references and notes for your research here, and save them and have them at hand whenever you use Mendeley. If I scroll down the left-hand side here, I can see any groups that I have created or belong to. Mendeley does support sharing references through groups, but those groups are private amongst you and your colleagues. In order to create a new group, simply click in New Group here at the bottom left, and you can give it a name. Or I can take a look at any one of my groups by clicking, left-clicking on the name. This test group has no references in it yet. If I right-click with my mouse, that pops up an additional menu where I can add a new collection, rename the group, or manage the group. And here at Manage Groups is where I would invite members. I would invite my colleagues who I want to share this group with using this feature. So simply put, those are some of the organizational and collaborative features that you can use on Mendeley's website. Mendeley is useful for generating citations following common styles used in academic writing and publishing for all the references of the documents that you've saved in your personal library. At this time, the only word processing application that Mendeley integrates with is Microsoft Word. And if you're a user of Microsoft Word Online or the Word app for iPad, you'll want to explore the new Mendeley Cite tool. However, as I don't have those, I will not be demonstrating that in this video. I'll be demonstrating the Mendeley Word plugin for the desktop program. And that is compatible with both Windows and Mac versions of Word. I'm demonstrating this on a Windows computer. So in order to use that, we actually want to make sure it's installed through Mendeley Desktop, and it's important that you are logged into your Mendeley Desktop account so that the Word plugin can access your library of documents. Under the Tools menu, make sure that the MS Word plugin is installed. It would prompt me to install it if it was not. So I don't want to uninstall it, so I know that it is there. And I have opened up a Word document. Here is a blank Word document, and I can begin writing. And then come to a place where I want to add a citation. The Mendeley citation plugin will live under References, and there it is. Within the References tab, there's a ribbon of Mendeley tools. And what I want to do is insert a citation. So I will select that. That pops over a window which allows you to search your Mendeley library for any term that you wish to use. And there it is. It's inserted an in-text citation. Now I can add in another in-text citation. And then if I position my cursor at the end of my document, I can use the Insert Bibliography button to add in a properly formatted bibliography according to the style that I am following. Now, I had been using the APA style, as you can see from the drop-down menu. It's actually the 7th edition of APA. And all the commonly used styles such as APA, Chicago Manual, MLA, and IEEE will be pre-installed for you as they are commonly used, but there are many more styles available, which you can open by clicking More Styles, which brings you over to Mendeley Desktop Citation Styles window. So say there is an update available, such as for the American Sociological Association style. I can right click on that and install the update. And there's a few others there. If there are any styles that are not found in this menu, you can get more styles and search for any topic or publisher or journal title that you wish, and then install the style that you want for your own use. Changing the style and reformatting your document according to that citation style is very easy. Once again, we go back to Word and use the Style drop-down menu. And here I can change from the APA style to the IEEE style, which is numerical for in-text citations rather than author date. And immediately, Mendeley has reformatted all of the in-text citations and the bibliography for me. If anything needs to be corrected, I can use undo or refresh, and then export as is useful at the end of the writing process when you can export your document without the Mendeley fields. What that says in the pop-over menu is export a document without embedded citation metadata. And what that really means is you break the connection to your Mendeley account, but preserve all of the citations and bibliography that you have inserted. So that would be your final draft that's ready for submission. There are a number of advanced features of Mendeley described on my guide. There are options for personalizing your Mendeley experience, a section on the Mendeley website devoted to careers, and another devoted to data sets. And I encourage you to explore those on your own if they are of interest. But to conclude this tutorial, I would like to demonstrate the use of Mendeley to annotate PDFs. Let's go over to Mendeley Desktop and choose a PDF by double-clicking on a document in my Mendeley library that has a PDF attached. I can now use the menu that appears here to attach notes and highlight things into the PDF copy that I have saved. So I can highlight a phrase or sentence in the abstract and then add a note. And these are visible to me and are very useful for annotating research in progress. You can also use the Mendeley web library to do the same. If you open a file, a PDF file that you have saved, you can also add notes and make highlights to your documents here in the web as well. And it works in much the same way. And don't forget that you also have the ability to add annotations into your notebook when you're using Mendeley on the web. This concludes using Mendeley at RIT tutorial series. And just as a reminder, you can use the Mendeley info guide at any time to learn more about this system. And I do link out from that guide to Mendeley's own documentation on their website. I hope that you now have the information you need to sign up and start exploring Mendeley on your own.